Hello, everybody. Hi, Wendy. It's spiritual coffee time. So, welcome wherever you are joining from. Hello, double Wendy's. Yay. Already powerful Wendy energy in the house. So, love that. Hi, Leela. Welcome. Have you joined before? Carmen. Haven't seen you in a while. Always nice to see you. Lavender, welcome back. Michelle. You're joining me for my second cup of morning coffee, which is just fine. Hi, Kay. Hi, Kieran. First time for Leela. Awesome. We're going to be doing something really fun and powerful today that I'm super excited about. We'll get into the details of that in a few minutes after, we have this kind of, I feel like this part of this session, it's kind of like the pre-party, or, if you have an event, but there's a waiting room and everyone's kind of waiting to go into the event and getting to talk and interact, and like the energy gets to commingle. That's how I feel like these first few minutes of the lives are. Just kind of letting everybody come together. Of course, if you have the belief that, there's no coincidences, then we all planned this already. But whatever your belief, we're here now, and to trust that, and thank you all who are joining. I mean, all of you for joining. And also, if you are especially like making time for this for yourself, that's a really powerful kind of message to Source, Universe, that you're putting self-care first, doing something for yourself. Oh, Carmen, so your schedule changed. Well, I'm glad that this can accommodate you. For my followers and community, I know people are in different time zones, so I try and stagger the times of my lives. And also I do have to change them occasionally, for clients and things. And so, yeah, are new for the first time. I'm a spiritual life coach, Reiki master teacher, intuitive. I'm also a writer. I'm also a person in long-term recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. So give me a follow here, give a donation if that feels light for you. If you feel called, reach out to connect deeper. I have different options for working with people one-on-one, so you can find out all that stuff if you would like. Making dinner. By the way, I'm glad you brought that in, Kieran. Ooh, Wendy, dragonflies. What does that mean to you? They're beautiful, for sure. Actually, okay, I just had two different trains of thought, but this was a really cool thing. I'm going to tell a brief little story. So I don't even know where I heard this, but I heard a story of a girl. She had lost her father, and she missed him very much. I don't know how long after this particular event occurred after the loss, but this person was like in a nightclub, I think it was. And they were in this nightclub, and this random stranger came up to this woman who had lost her father and said, I know I don't know you. I know this is going to sound weird, but I have to tell you this. My leg hurts. My leg hurts, and I just have to tell you that, and it makes no sense. And when this stranger told this woman that, she burst into tears. And the story behind that is that before this lady's father passed, they had made an agreement that once either of them were passed on, they would have a symbol or a sign or something that would indicate, like that would be like a communication. And they picked something super random for the father's sign so that she would know it was him. And I don't know, they picked this thing where the leg hurt. And so when she heard this, she knew her father was there and communicating. So isn't that a very interesting story? So inspired by that, I mean, not in the same exact way, but I have two sisters, and a few years ago, I was like, hey, what, when we pass on, like, let's have some kind of a symbol that we know we're being thought about, we're being communicated with, or that your presence is near. And so when Wendy said dragonflies, that's one of my sister's symbols, so that, when dragonflies are going to be around whenever that time comes, that will be her signal to me. And I chose yellow butterflies for me. I don't know why I didn't choose pink, but I chose yellow. So a fun and interesting and, not necessarily the most pleasant subject matter, but also it's going to happen. So that's the reality of life as well. So maybe that's for somebody out there. So yes. Let's see. Hi, Angela. Hi, Julie. Okay, I'll look for that email. Glad to connect. I see, Carmen. Yeah, great. Do what you need to do with your schedule, your diet. Faye, that sounds beautiful. So anyone who can't stay for the whole session, please, do what you need to do. Know that you will receive what is best and will be perfect for you. I will be channeling Reiki as part of this. So, that's outside of time. If you choose to receive it, then you will, even if you have to leave early or something. So, hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Yeah, so maybe that's for somebody to have an interesting conversation. Hi, Jay. And then the other thing, when Kieran said making dinner, and this is whatever, I don't want to say off topic, but in many of you know sort of some health stuff that's been happening with me. And I just feel like this wants to come in, so I'm going to go with it after I sip my black coffee, my Luwak coffee. Has anyone ever heard of civet cat coffee? Also known as shit coffee. Anyway, that's another subject, but it's from Indonesia. This is from Bali, which is where I am, by the way. So it's actually just coffee, but yeah, anyway, there's a process to it. It's the most expensive coffee in the world also. So with these health issues I'm having, I stumbled upon on YouTube fasting. And I became a colon hydrotherapist 20 years ago. Yeah, it's been 20 years. So I'm not new to the world of fasting for health. And also, I mean, it's been 20 years, so there's been many journeys and things since I first discovered alternative health, natural health and healing and all that sort of a thing. So I got very inspired by a video from a medical doctor in Orlando, Florida, a cardiologist who has had amazing results with water fasting and intermittent fasting, and gotten many people to go to reverse their type 2 diabetes, cancer, many things. And I just was watching these videos and I was like, wow, in light of the things that I've had going on, with my own health, I have done some fasting this week and it's been quite an interesting journey. So I feel like maybe this is for somebody here as well. Maybe it's confirmation if you've stumbled across this. I mean, at this point, everyone's heard of intermittent fasting. I've heard of it and I'm just like, I know, like I had a mind that was like, I already know. And see, this is the issue. And this is for you as well. It's like we think we know things, and so then we don't have an open mind because we think we already know it. This has really hurt me in my life in many ways. But even with this, I'm like, I know all the benefits of fasting. I know the benefits of water fasting. I know, okay, intermittent fasting, but I just like discarded it for some reason as an option. But watching these informational videos that really explain the science really impacted me and got me really motivated. So a few of you know about it, feel like maybe it's a message, a prompting for you. So I did over 24 hours. And Angela, yeah. So the thing with the fasting is it's like the first few days, and of course, discern getting medical supervision, all that stuff, like medical disclaimer here, insert that here, and then moving on. Because I'm not any sort of a medical professional, but generally what they say is after the first 2-3 days, your energy levels skyrocket. And so what happened with me is because I just got so inspired, I'm like, I'm doing this right now. And I did, but because there's a way you can kind of ease into it, and I got like tired and then I got anxious. So then I stopped. So yeah, and like everyone, you have your own situation. Please discern and do what you need to do. Hi, Andrea. Nice to have you here. But because one of the main issues, I had Epstein-Barr, I had mononucleosis as a kid. So this is like just part of it. Medical medium, I've talked about him. He says most things are from Epstein-Barr. it resonates deeply with me in what I've had going on for many years, but now it's like getting to a point where I don't want to ignore it. I can't ignore it. And you know, the main manifestation is a lack of energy. And there's other things. So for me, like, wow, fasting gives you energy. That's what I want, along with all the other benefits. So I'm hopeful about that. So that wanted to be shared as well. So, okay, Donna. Yeah. And everyone's got their own conditions. Some people have a lot of physical issues happening, and yeah, again, just use your discernment. So Wendy Lotus, it creates new stem cells. Your human growth hormone levels go up 500%. There was this really good video that showed, like, after this many hours, this happens, and and somebody said, like, it's gives more benefits than any drug could. Of course, yeah, within reason. Oh, interesting, Leela. Yeah, and I'm wondering if there's something adrenal going on with me as well. But yeah, the thing is, if you do more, a little bit longer fasts, I mean, there can be more energy, but also you may need to rest. It's one of them. Wendy was like Dr. Sven. If you want to ask me in a message, I could send over a couple. And actually, one of the doctors was like, and of course, can't say this, but he said it's a cure for cancer. And I know some people have had those issues in here. So, and even speaking of that, we can segue into, and yes, Donna, too, that's the other part is like, the spiritual history of fasting, the mental clarity that occurs. And I definitely am feeling that. So when I broke the fast the first time, because I got anxious, because it's sort of a thing, so it triggered that. So I was like, I'm going to eat now. And I got first I got celery juice. So I broke the fast with that. And then I just felt I needed to eat. So I got a vegan meal, and also it was carb heavy, whatever. I was just doing my best. But it was so interesting what happened. It just I could feel my body overcome. I could feel the change happening with just insulin flooding my body and carbs flooding my body. It felt like before my cells felt sort of light and expansive, and then it just felt like sludge. My legs just felt heavy. I had to go to sleep. I could not keep my eyes open after an hour. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm thinking, okay, I need to evaluate my diet. Yes, I'm sugar free, and sure, my diet's okay in many respects, and also there's still a ways to go. So that was a really powerful experience to just see the difference there. That also motivated me to be I want to feel light and I have energy. And of course, doing all of this with discernment and all of that stuff. So yeah. So speaking of all of that, let's jump into the Jubilation meditation. Also, I need to take care of my physical body by honoring what it needs to do when it needs to do it, which is, maybe taking a couple bathroom breaks because it's morning time. I drank my lime water and my coffee. So, I get to honor my body by taking a break, which actually I'm going to do that right now. So if you also need to honor something about what your body's doing, if it's thirsty, if it needs to eliminate, if it needs to become relaxed, if you need to shift your body, please do so. And we'll be back in just 1 minute. Okay. Welcome back. Or welcome or hello. So, Jubilation. This form of journey that we're about to go on here is what I have called Jubilation meditation. So it's inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Any Joe Dispenza fans, anybody not know who he is? His work was a catalyst to up-level my life in maybe 2015, 16. It was amazing work. He has a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He's now blown up. He's totally huge and viral everywhere, which is great because he has a powerful message. He basically teaches the science of spirituality. So it's law of attraction and manifestation, and also he uses more the science of it, of quantum physics, epigenetics, how changing our energy changes our brain and the neural pathways and all of that sort of a thing. So some people vibe with that because it's more grounded in science and not just kind of some of the traditional law of attraction teachings and things, which some people, have resistance about. So basically, he talks about that we change our energy and we change our lives. He's had people have miracles on all levels, miraculous physical healings, people healing mental illness, people healing physical conditions, people manifesting crazy ass shit. Like, hi Christina. Yeah, so Donna, I would check it out. And again, trust this message. Like, if you've heard of him, or if you've, used to be into him and whatever, or if you've never heard of him, like, trust that there's something here for you now. But yeah, so now he has these huge workshops. I've been to 3 of his workshops. So basically he teaches meditation as a tool to break the habit of being yourself. Because, if you look at the results in your life up until now, you've created all those results. Some great, maybe some not so great. But he says your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality creates your personal reality. So when you create anew, when you change your personality, your personal reality changes. I have experienced this 1,000,000%. Number one, when I got clean and sober at the age of 22, I mean, I wasn't into these sorts of things, but basically that's what happened. I hit a bottom in my alcohol and drug addiction, a very crazy, horrible bottom. And, I went into AA and I broke the habit of being myself, and it was the hardest thing I ever did, So, that's kind of a more tangible example. But also when I found Joe Dispenza's work, So what he says is, like, you do meditation every day, and it's a certain style of meditation, and that's where the inspiration for this Jubilation comes in. Because he says when you sit down in meditation every day and you change your energy, you change your state of being. Tony Robbins talks about state change. So many teachers and people talk about that, right? So of course there's all these beautiful bigger teachings that everyone's got their own filter and their own voice and their own spin on it, which is amazing because we, in this wonderful day and age, we can take, which form of that we like. So, Joe Dispenza's is this idea about changing your energy to change your life. And that you, every day in your meditation, you're training, you're retraining your body and your mind. And he says you don't want to get up from your meditation until you feel, a shift, until you feel different in a positive way. So he has a number of meditations. For me, at the time that I found them, they were mind-blowing. I mean, I remember when I started doing his morning meditations in the morning, I was high all day long. After that, just the expansion, the opening, the jubilation, if you will, was so, it was so amazing. And so I was committed, and and his meditations are not short. Because he has he's done, this research and this science around the brain, the subconscious, the body, and he, some of them he takes you, he has different sorts of styles, but he takes you through this process. So what I'm feeling led to do is one of the styles of his meditations, which is called Tuning into New Potentials. And you can, get that if you want. You can reach out to me if you want guidance on that specific meditation and how to get it. But if you want to participate in this part, you don't have to, but I'm just going to go over this briefly. So you can think about something you want. Okay, Carmen, nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. So you want to think about one thing that you want to create. And it could be anything. You know, it could be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, you know, relationship, money, a certain thing you want to manifest or create. So if you want to do this, it's good to write it down on paper, or you could even put it in your phone or whatever. But you want to think about something that you want. And you want to think about 3 or 4 bullet points about the details of it. I wish I had this as a favorite on my phone. I don't think I do. I'm just gonna check because I want to read mine, and this is so amazing. So the last Joe Dispenza workshop I went to, which was, you know, in 2017 now, I think it was. I mean, it's been a long while, but we did this in the workshop, and the things that I wrote down, you know, almost all have come true in this. I think I do have it. Woo! Okay, so this, this was 2018, January 2018. All right. So mine was around my job. At that time, I was in a good job, but also a job I didn't want to be in anymore. I mean, it was also dysfunctional and toxic and all that stuff, and there was problems. And also, that job allowed me to, I was a digital nomad. I was a remote worker. So I had, you know, it was very good in many ways, and also it wasn't good in some ways too. And I was not happy in it, but I felt stuck in my job. Anybody else here feels stuck in their job? I feel like this part is also going to be for somebody here as well. So where I was with my job was that I had this amazing lifestyle. I left the US now 10 and a half years ago. I've worked online all over the world. And I was an employee of an American company. So I got, you know, American wages, paid holidays, vacation time, you know, and not a bad wage, and being able to have not total freedom, but a lot of freedom. And I worked online from 2013 up until 2020. And before that, I worked in the office. So I was at that job almost 13 years. So, but I got into this box where, you know, the more dissatisfied I became with the job, the more I felt trapped in it, because my mind's limiting belief and story was, this is the only job you're ever going to find or have that you're going to be able to have this lifestyle that you want. That I have to have this lifestyle now. I've been doing this now over 10 years, and before that, I mean, you know, whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8 years at the time when I did this meditation. So I had this totally limiting mental construction where my mind told me the story that I believed, this is the only job for you. You know, I don't have a degree. I don't have qualifications. I do, but whatever. I told myself I didn't. I mean, I don't have like a marketable one skill sort of a thing in like a business world setting. So my thing was, I have to keep this job. This job is giving me this amazing lifestyle that and that if my job ever goes away, my whole life will crumble, because my life is built on this job. And so I have to keep this job no matter what. And it's the only job on the planet that's going to be able to give me what I want. And even though it also had a lot of problems, and I mean, the pay, it was okay, but I wasn't, it wasn't a huge amount. So I was in fear and lack and scarcity. So I was at this Joe Dispenza workshop, and so we're like, okay, what do you want to create? And I thought, like, I want a new money earning situation, if that's a job or whatever. So think about that thing for you. And so then I wrote down, and this is where you get to do some writing. Hi, sunshine. Oh, interesting. Donna, it takes what it takes. I'm glad you're out of that and moving forward and on bigger and better things. So I've told you kind of what I had and what I didn't like and what I didn't want. So then I wrote a list of things. I wrote 4 or 5 things. So you can do this as well. So if it's health, if it's relationship, if it's money, if it's career, if it's spiritual, if it's travel, or if you want to create something, you want to write a book. I mean, it could be, you can fit anything in here. So I wrote, I want to be autonomous and location independent. I want to make a certain amount of money. I want passive income. And what I want to do is inspire, create, and give, which is interesting, because at this time in 2018, what I'm doing now was nowhere. I mean, it was on the radar a little bit. So, yeah. And then I wrote, I want to work less than 20 hours a week. So do you see, I got specific. So for you, get specific. That's one column. Then you have another column. So you have your specifics, you have what you want. I wrote like income stream, if it's whatever the thing is. And then you write the specifics. And then in the other column, you write, why do you want it? Meaning, how do you want to feel? I mean, I want those things because I want to feel a certain way. We want everything we want because we want to feel a certain way. We don't want a pile of money. It's meaningless. It's paper. You put, go on a desert island and put $1 million on there and you can't leave the island. The paper money is meaningless. We don't want the money. We want the experience. We want the way we feel when we have it. And that's the same with anything. Why do we want a relationship? We want to feel those feelings. Why do we want a better job? We want to feel a certain way. So in the second column, this is what I wrote. I will feel free, light, joy, inspired, creative, abundant, expanded, connected, giving, and joyful. So that's why I want those things. And really, that's why I want everything. And really, everyone, we all want the same thing. We want peace. I didn't write peace, but that's inherent within that. We want peace, we want freedom, we want joy at the end of the day. And whatever incarnations those might fit in. So those are your 2 columns. And then he just has this, kind of this thing. He says, like, you write a letter. So I wrote a J for job, and then you put 2 circles around it. So that's kind of like the symbol of that's holding the intention for all of this. Ah, that's great, Angela. That's a really good distinction to make about the balance. Yeah. So we want to look at what do we want and why do we want it? You know, and in my spiritual life coaching, we go into that. And it can help you get clarity. So take a minute to do that. I'm going to honor my bladder again while you either get a piece of paper and jot down a couple things or do it on your phone. And yes, I will be right back again. Okay. All right. Here we are. Hi, Marlene. Nice to see you. So, why we want everything is because we want an experience. So now in this meditation, we're going to give ourselves the experience without needing the manifestation to have occurred. Okay? Does that make sense? And that is the secret sauce. That is the superpower of this practice and of any law of attraction, manifestation, creation practice. And that's what Joe Dispenza's meditations do. You raise your vibration. You feel as if you already have the thing that you want. And that, because of the energy in the body, you're matching your vibration to the thing that you are creating. So it's a magnet and it brings it to you. So you're going to get to manage your mind, because what happens is, the conditioning of the mind, if you think about the thing that you want, your mind is gonna, well, not immediately, but anyway, you may notice, I'll just say it like that, you may notice that the mind has some arguing against that. Like even for my thing, as I just told you, I had this long history with this job. I had all these fears, limiting beliefs, feeling trapped and stuck. And then I'm writing down these things about what I'm creating with my job situation. And yes, all of this. And then the voice comes in, whatever, right? We know what that says. You can't have it, or blah, blah, blah. All of the fears. That's ego mind. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to help you, because it's trying to keep you safe from disappointment, and keep you in your comfort zone where it's comfortable and familiar. And yet growth and change cannot happen within your comfort zone. You've got to do something different. You've got to feel different. So, you know what's interesting, my intention in 2018, I mean, I've pretty much created it. I mean, not 100%, but like a huge percentage. I've pretty much created it, and it's still in process. And I know the little details that haven't happened yet. They will happen. They are happening. They're on their way to me now. And if I would be able to go back to 2018 and tell Natalie in 2018, like, hey, you're going to be, doing what you do, inspiring people, helping people, and this is like the way you make your living, like, I would have believed it in 2018. Maybe go back 10 years, I would have been like, you're freaking crazy. There's no way. But I changed. I am not the same person as I was 10 years ago. I mean, I am, but also not. My vibration is different. My personality has created my personal reality. My personality has changed. So, and of course, there's always more to expand and grow into. So your mind may come in with some arguments, trying to protect you, trying to help you. So we don't want to demonize it and get mad at it. It's trying to keep you safe. And nothing new happens inside your comfort zone. And by the way, I coach people on this stuff. So if you have something where you feel like, this is really resonating, and I'd like guidance on that, or I know what I want to create and I want, to take it to the next level, and I'm committed and I'm going to do this, reach out, let's have a conversation, see if, I can help you, or we may be able to work together. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. So, yeah. Where was I? Hey, Britt. Yay. Good to see you too. So what we want to do is to become creators. And we create ourselves in every moment, and we can create ourselves very powerfully when we have an intention. He has another quote. I can't remember it now. But anyway. Yeah, okay, yeah. So your mind is going to have some things to say about it, so just bless it. Say, look, we can do this now. Mind, ego, thoughts, thank you for trying to help me. We're just playing a game here right now. We're gonna go into this journey, and we're just gonna have a fun game. It'll be fun to play for a minute in this jubilation energy. And thank you. You can sit on the sidelines. You can be in the back seat, as Elizabeth Gilbert talks about in her book, Big Magic. Fear can sit in the back seat. It still can go on the ride, but it's not going to be driving. So we don't want that part to be driving right now when we go into the meditation. So, and then we just want to have fun, because we're going to give ourselves the experience of why we want the things we want right now, to the best of our ability, okay? So there's no goalposts to reach. There's no doing it wrong. There's no not doing it good enough. Just the fact that you're here and you're going to play, that's great. That's great. So when I actually started my journey to lead me sitting here with you right now, it started, it started on a path, but when I first started working with others, I started in Mexico doing at this yoga studio. I was doing this Jubilation meditation sessions, like group sessions once a week. And it was super successful and powerful, and people loved it. And that all came out of nowhere. I didn't plan it. It just fell into my lap. And so it's been a really fun and powerful practice that got me, started me on this path to be with you here today even. So does anybody have any questions or comments? And it's best for focus to choose one thing. And also, it's gonna be like, it's also about your whole life, So for me, the one, and I'll just repeat briefly, like if you want to fully participate in this practice, I'm just going to give a quick summary. You think of one thing you want, anything. And then you write down the specifics about it, some specifics, just, 3, 4, or 5 things. And then you write down the feelings you want to feel as a result of when you have that experience. So great question, Leela. So Joe Dispenza has different variations. He has many different flavors of meditation, if you will. Different styles, different practices. There's some chakra ones. There's sort of this one that's inspired by his Tuning into New Potentials is the name of this specific meditation that I'm drawing from. So you can, like I said, reach out to me if you want to know more about that. Or you can purchase that on his website. So I did a Joe Dispenza meditation every day. It wasn't necessarily this one. Now, when he talks about doing this, if you have one thing, you're like, I am creating this. I'm committed to creating this. Then yes, you would do this every day, because the more you're in this energy, then the more powerful it's going to become, and then you're going to attract it. So that's a great question. So I'll just, again, like I said, I'll read what mine was. So mine was a job. I didn't want to manifest a new job. I wanted to manifest a new way of creating an income stream. So I wrote, I'm going to be, or I am autonomous, location independent, making a minimum of a certain amount of money per week, take home, passive income, and that I want to inspire, create, and give is how I will create this stream. And I will be working less than 20 hours per week, or working, it's not work, but working. So those were my specifics. So again, if it's a relationship, if it's health, if it's finance, if it's travel, if it's wanting a new house or wanting to write a book, it could be anything. So you just write those specifics down. And then in the other, there's like 2 columns. The other column, you write, how do you want to feel? Like, okay, say all that's happened. How are you feeling after it's happened? So I feel free, light, joy, inspired, creative, abundant, expanded, connected, giving, and joyful. And so those are sort of the feelings that you're going to expand upon in the meditation. So abundance, you know, this Jubilation live session now is, you know, themed around abundance. Abundance isn't just money, as we all likely know. You know, abundance of energy, abundance of freedom, health, of connection, of love, of all of those things. So I'm going to plug in my computer charging thing because I don't want that to stop during the meditation part. Yeah, so Angela, yours might be, and you know, for some of you, it might be, okay, I have more free time, like, and I would be specific. I have Saturday and Sundays. What's happening? Are we still here? My screen suddenly changed. Okay, thank you. I don't know, another window popped up for no reason. Thank you. Let me check my other recording because I'm dual live streaming, as many of you may know, and you can follow me in other places. And if you missed this, well, obviously you're here right now. But FYI, if you do miss any live streams and you wish you would have gotten them, you can find them in other, I'll just say in other places on the internet. They are all now recorded and uploaded for the public viewing. You can ask me more details if you'd like. Karen, hi Karen. More downtime. Anna, wonderful. 3 separate weeks off work, Angela. So great. So yeah, if things are pretty great in your life, but there's just not enough time, which is an illusion, you could have, like, you know, more free time, like more freedom, more free time could be the overarching theme of what you're creating. And then you have the details. So Marie, if you just heard what I said, mine was sort of like a financially secure thing. What are the details of that, as you just heard me list? If it is, you know, a work-life balance or more free time, then you would list specifics. You know, might be my weekends free. And then you also might list what you're doing in that free time. And if it is spending time with family, right? And then you would list, how do you feel when you have those times off and you're with your family? How does that feel? Because we want to focus on that in this meditation. So the way we're going to do this, and we're going to get into it right now, is that I'm going to guide you into, you know, we're going to drop into that experience. We're going to drop into your life when it's already happened. So you're going to get to manage any gremlins and acknowledge and say thank you, but we don't need you at this moment. You can come back later. And you get to redirect into, I'm just going to feel as good as I can feel, you know, right now in this moment. Whatever we visualize, whatever we think, we can create, we can become. I mean, so many teachers talk about that. So this is very powerful. And the more clear you get, if you do this every day, if you go into these visualizations, go into the feeling as if it's already happened, that will just give it more and more power and energy to be a magnet to you. So, hi Mishi. So let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm also, like I said, I'm going to channel Reiki as well. I may bring in some ancestral clearing at the end. I may do that out loud or silently. I'm just going to go with the flow on that. So glasses are going off, which means eyes are closing because I can't read anything on the screen now. So I invite you also to disengage from devices and come into the sacred present moment, deeper into the body. So let's jubilate. Just for fun. For no other reason that it'll feel good to feel good for a minute. Detached to outcomes. Just doing this as a fun experiment. Infinite Creator, source of all that is, we love you. Thank you for loving us. We humbly ask that you open, bless, expand, lead, guide, and direct us into your perfect light, love, and life, and always, completely, now and forever, please and thank you. Calling in all of our spiritual teams now. All of those beautiful beings of light and love. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, saints, holy masters, gurus, animals, all guides and helpers. We all have our beautiful, unique spiritual teams that are always here with us, guiding, supporting, directing, encouraging, loving, along with Source. So feeling into that beautiful, loving guidance and support. Breathing, each breath in, expanding these light, beautiful energies of connection, guidance, divinity. You might want to give a sigh with sound through the mouth, and just anything that no longer serves you in this moment is releasing through the out breath to be recycled by Spirit. And that the purpose here today is to inspire, expand, create, heal, nourish, balance, clear, up-level, transform. On all levels, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual, and financial, in all relevant time, space, or dimension. And also with the specific intention you have of what you are creating in your life, and that this beautiful jubilation space is here to give you a moment of play, of lightness, expansion, creation, and that will naturally magnetize what you want to you. So that you can not wait for any manifestation to occur to give yourself the feeling state of what you want. And that this is the sweet spot. The sweet spot, even if it's just for a moment or for this time, of being happy where you are and excited for what's to come. I'm also activating beautiful Reiki energy, the Reiki master symbol, and also powerful Solvana energy, which is a powerful, beautiful energy of new beginnings, transformations, awakenings, third eye openings, intuition, expansion and breakthrough. So all of this here orchestrating to support you and guide you, direct you into creating your heart's desire. And with each breath in, this energy is starting to spark within your heart. Your physical heart, your spiritual heart, your heart chakra. And it'll start as glimmers. You'll feel glimmers. Glimmers of expansion and light. And I'm seeing these all the way into the individual cells of the body, into the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cells. And even beyond that, into the atomic, subatomic, and quantum levels. With each breath in, these energies are expanding, unfolding, clearing, nurturing, purifying, balancing. And this is all happening on quantum level, multidimensional level. And you don't need to understand that, just be and feel into it. And I want you now to bring to mind the potential that you are living into in this moment, that you are bringing into your experience in this now moment. I want you to just allow your mind to take yourself to a moment in time. And again, just play here and just trust. Trust whatever's coming. Don't overthink it, just be. And follow the images, follow the feelings, follow the sensations. I want you to drop into a moment in time where you have created the potential that you wrote down or you focused on before we came into the meditation. What is that thing that you want? I want you to imagine you're just dropping into a scene where it's already happened. You might be doing something by yourself, with others. You might be in another place, in another time. I mean, there's so many, there's infinite possibilities here. Some of you might be dropping into, you know, some sort of, I'm seeing like a celebration, like a party or a gathering. It might just be with family, or it might be bigger than that. And you're celebrating that this manifestation has occurred. You might be somewhere else if it's a trip you've created, or a different place that you're living. Maybe it's a job for some of you, and you're having like a celebration, like there's some sort of a lunch where it's welcome to the company or something. If it's something romantic, or if, say, you want to be married with children, you're, you know, holding your newborn in the hospital. Just, again, let your mind go to that ultimate top tier, like the ultimate manifestation of the best feelings that you can feel of celebration for that moment. Maybe if it's something physical, you're imagining that you're healed, you're well, and you're doing the thing that, you know, you want to do. Maybe you're at a mountaintop that you've wanted to hike. Maybe it's been on your bucket list, and you're at the top, and you're surveying the landscape, and you're feeling all of the feelings of accomplishment and joyful expansion. So drop into your body, into that moment, into that experience. And I want you to feel your body now in this moment as if your body is in that vision. That your body is right now is literally in that vision that your mind is beautifully creating. And do your best. Again, there's no judgment, there's no grading system, there's no, anything about it not being good enough or not doing it right. However you're showing up is perfect for now. So just trusting your process, going with the flow of this, feeling into the energy as if you are there right now. Feeling your feet on the ground, where you are. If you're on a carpet, on the grass, on snow, on a beach, maybe you're relaxed in a bed and you're feeling that underneath you in your vision. Just allow the details of this to unfold around you, and feel into the space around your body now as if you're in that scene. I'm seeing rose petals for somebody. Maybe you're embracing somebody and it just feels so good. Maybe you're holding your published book in your hands, or you're looking at your framed art on a wall in a gallery. And with each breath in, you feel your vibration rising. And thinking about that other column of the meditation, of the list you made prior to the meditation, and how you are feeling. What are those feelings you're feeling now? Do you feel free? Feel how it feels to be free, light, joyful, expansive, uplifted, connected, inspired, creative, giving, open. It's finally happening now. It's finally here. If you find your mind going into other places that are anything else than this, it's okay. Just bless that part of the mind, acknowledge it, welcome it in, say, it's okay, come play with me for a minute here in this beautiful, powerful energy. And then focus back in on the breath. Imagine you're in this scene and you're actually breathing the air of that scene into your body now. For some of you, I'm feeling like Hawaii, or maybe one person, maybe more. You're finally there. What are the smells? So you want to bring all of your senses in. Sight, hearing. What are you hearing? And so I'd like to take you into a more specific vision of your manifestation right now, where, say you're in some sort of a gathering where you're celebrating just being with each other, celebrating your accomplishment, or just whatever, celebrating. And you're sitting down with like your favorite person at this gathering. And you're just so excited to finally get like a couple moments together, and you're off in a quiet space, alone, being able to fully be with this person. You know, it could be family, friend, lover, spouse, child, whatever, anybody. And you're having a beverage together in this space. It could be anything from a glass of Dom Perignon to your favorite cappuccino to mineral water. I mean, anything, right? Whatever that beverage is for you. And I want you to imagine you're sitting facing this beautiful being across from you that just loves and supports you and is just as excited for you as you are. And I want you to imagine you're holding this glass or cup in your hands, and you want to feel the weight of that cup. You want to feel either the heat or the cold or the neutrality of it, and that you're bringing this beverage to your lips, and you're taking a sip in, and you're feeling the sensations. It might be like a hot coffee going down, you smell it, or it might be a fruity drink that you smell. Feel that feeling in your hands as you gaze across to this beautiful being across from you, and you're talking about what you've created. You're giving them the inside scoop. You're telling them the story of how this occurred. and just where it all started. And now it's finally here and you can't believe it, and you're just so full of gratitude and almost like disbelief, but total joy in the juiciness of it. And you're taking a sip of this drink, feeling it going into your body, sharing this experience with this beautiful person across from you. And you're telling them the story of where it all started and how it all happened, and each magical moment as it unfolded, and the places and times where you thought, maybe it wasn't going to happen, and then the next amazing synchronicity unfolded, and now you see why it all had to happen in the exact way that it did. And they're just drinking this all in, and they're inspired and motivated, and you're just overcome with gratitude and appreciation. So feeling into the body as if your body is there now. And nothing else matters but this feeling right now. However much of a glimmer it is, and let go of any judgment again, of any grading system your mind might make up about this. You're just being in this experience, however you're showing up, you are doing it perfectly for you in this moment. You might feel a smile on your face. Outwardly, inwardly, you might feel an inner smile. I really want you to imagine your body is there now in that scene. And maybe now you're getting up, you're mingling around, you're going to other people in this experience, or whatever it is for you. Feeling all the cells of your body, seeing who is around you, where you are, what's happening, what are you doing, what are you celebrating, how are you feeling, what are you hearing? Maybe you're hearing people around you, as you walk by, hey, congratulations, or I'm so happy to be here, I'm so happy for you, whatever it is. Hearing sounds, or maybe you're in a naturescape and you're hearing nature sounds. We want to bring in all of our senses. And the most important is the feelings. So in this vision now, I'd like you to just, again, this is a game, this is an experiment, just notice, look around wherever you find yourself now in this visual. And you're going to take something from this with you. So look around, and there's going to be something that sticks out to you in some way. Just trust whatever that is. There will be an object, something you can take with your hand. And just allow yourself to see that. And when you see it, you'll know it, and you want to pick it up and really connect with this for a minute. And again, it could be anything. There's many people here. And if it's something like Like for me, there's always butterflies and things. If it's something like that, then it's like a static symbol of that, that's like something that you can hold and put in your pocket. But I want you to take that and look at that and just really connect with this object. Gaze at it in this image, in this visualization, and just feel all of the energy from this powerful experience. And imagine that energy is being concentrated into this object. As I'm doing this, my hand is starting to really tingle. Wow. And it, whatever, if that's not happening, that's fine too. But some of you may notice that. So all of the beautiful, powerful energy of this experience is being concentrated into this object and this symbol. And it's being stored there. And feel that object in your hand. Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it heavy? Is it light? And you're going to take this with you now as we exit this scene. And if you want to say, see you all later, see you all soon, thank you for coming. This visualization, you can return to this scene, and the more you do this, the more powerful it will become, the more clear the details will become. So you're not saying goodbye, you're not saying goodbye forever, you're saying see you soon. And know that you can return to this anytime, and the more that you do, the more powerful this practice will be for you, and the more results you will have. And so you can take this object with you, and I want you to come back into your physical body here and now in this moment. Breathing in and integrating this experience now, feeling your body where you are now in your present moment, feet on the ground, or body on the surface you're on, feeling the heaviness of that, the weight, tuning into sounds around you, looking at the back of your closed eyelids, breathing, noticing the breath, and just taking in another breath. And that these breaths are bringing in and anchoring these energies into your now experience even deeper. And this object that you've brought with you is your symbol that you can use to anchor all of this energy, and that you can bring this out symbolically. You may even, either this object may present itself in your experience in a synchronicity that will surprise you, that will baffle you, that will leave no doubt that it is a sign from Source that your manifestation is on the way, that everything that you've been doing in this meditation right now was seen, was heard and acknowledged and received by Source. So be looking for these signs. And now I want you to just release all of this. Release it all to Source, Creator, Universe, God, Higher Power. Just release this entire practice, surrendering, letting go, trusting the unknown. Your job is to just be in this experience of creation. How it's going to happen, the details and all of that is not up to you or your business. That's where faith and trust comes in. You are the creator. So your, I don't like the word job, but your practice, your role, your fun play time is to be in the experience of the creation. Surrendering, having faith and trust that, and then releasing it and allowing it to come to you. Now I'm going to close with a brief ancestral clearing prayer to help support in releasing, forgiving any energies so that we can bring in these experiences even more, even better, even faster, or whatever. So breathing in, breathing out. If you are feeling like you want to stay in this energy and space, honor that. Because why would you want to end it? The longer you are staying in these energies, the more powerful this experience is. So stay there if you feel that, honor that. If you're ready to return to a wakeful state, you can go ahead, move the body, and just slowly allow the eyes to float open. And before you re-engage fully, because we went very deep, just take a pause and just, with open eyes, bring your creation, your image, your visual to mind. Bring that object to mind. Feel your body now. Put yourself back in that experience. Just for a final moment of integration. Feeling with open eyes that experience. So, welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Julie, for the donation. If you feel called to donate, please do so. If you please follow me here on Insight Timer and everywhere. Laura, Donna, yes, thank you. It will be in that platform under the live section. And also I may pull the specific like meditation part out and post that separately. So be on the lookout for that and follow me everywhere so you can be notified of that. And you can reach out one-on-one. You can find me here on Insight Timer in my profile. And there's a link in the About Me section. Please listen to my meditations if they resonate with you. Thank you, Leela. Thank you so much for joining. Does anybody have questions, comments, anything they want to share? That was so fun. Just being in that energy. We've done this, a couple times before, and I remember one where we were talking about Oprah, and like that energy of going on the Oprah show, and you're one of the lucky ones who, was in the show where she's giving cars to everybody, and that sort of energy. So just being in that energy. Actually, last night I was with somebody, and for some reason there's this song by Drake called God's Plan. Does anybody know that? Thank you, Angela, for the donation. You're welcome, Donna. Nancy. That was spontaneous and also drawn from my years of being a meditation guide and teacher, and all of the work that I've done, all of my teachings, all of my learnings. So, I took from Joe Dispenza. If you missed that part earlier, like that was definitely inspired by him. Some of it, the part where we got to get clear on what we want to create, was from Tuning into New Potentials by Joe Dispenza. You can ask me for more information about that or just search for that. The other part that came in really clearly when we were drinking the drink was this Neville Goddard meditation called the, wait, I'm mixing things up here. I don't know if it's Neville Goddard or if it's, I can't remember his name now. Diamond Cutter. No, is that what it's called? The Diamond Cutter Buddhist teacher. Anyway, that's not coming in very clearly, but there's one called the coffee meditation where you're holding a cup of coffee, you're feeling the warm mug, you're smelling it, you're sipping it, and you're either reflecting silently upon, the energies and the things that you've created, and or you're over coffee with a friend telling them about how this has all happened. So that also was quite specific that came in. You're welcome, Anna. Yeah, Laura. So, and that may happen, and just go with it. Trust it. It's okay. Now, next time, if you want to, if you notice there's some mixed images, if there's one that feels the best and feels the lightest and feels the most fun and juicy, you can direct your mind to focus on that one. Because the more specific we are, like, it's kind of like we place an order in a restaurant. So it's like the same thing. We're placing our order. If we don't know what we want, if we're not clear on it, then how can it be delivered? You don't tell the waiter, I want some food. They're like, well, what food do you want? Then you're going to get some random food. So the more specific you are, I want A, B, C, D, then God, the universe, can give you A, B, C, D instead of just food. But so the Drake, my God's Plan video on YouTube, it's so fun and amazing. He just goes, has anybody seen that? It's kind of like that Oprah energy of just giving away. I mean, it was so beautiful. He's just going, I mean, he's giving like a stack of money away to people on the street. You know, it's just, he's writing all these checks and he's going in stores and giving an announcement like, everyone buy whatever you want. I'm paying for it all. I mean, that's the energy of creation. And so that's actually my favorite energy to be in. Yeah, Laura. So the apartment's in the city, but you're in the forest. Yeah, just go with it. Don't overthink it, which is normal. The mind will do that. You can't get it wrong. And again, the more you do it, things will solidify, become more specific. So I'm going to go. Thank you all so much for joining today. And again, please don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer and everywhere else that I am. And these will now be recorded for viewing later. Let me know. Just reach out. You can send me a message here through Insight Timer if you want to know more. Please give a donation if it feels light, if you feel expansive. That's the best energy to be in for giving. And I will see you soon for Saturday Night Live this weekend. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. It's been so much fun. Thank you, Wendy. No worries. Yeah, and I will pull out the actual meditation piece. So you can just do that too if you choose. So, love to you all. Gratitude, thanks to all of you, to Insight Timer. Thank you, Wendy's. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. Bye-bye.